Just PowerPoint. Okay. Well, computer, yeah. What's that? I'm using the computer. Yeah. So. Those of you who are kind of over in the right corner there, can you see over the arm of the document manager? Is that okay? If you want, there's a little. There we go. And pull it forward. Is that better? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about myself and how I got interested in film. When I was 8 years old, my father read to me a book called The Red Badge of Courage, which is a story about the American Civil War. And as he was reading it to me in my head, I began seeing the visuals of the scenes, and I thought to myself, wow, this would make an amazing movie. I can hardly wait for someone to come around and do it. Then I realized the person who would make this into a movie wouldn't have the same vision that I did, and I want to see my vision put on the screen. So I said, the only person who can do that is me. So from that point on, I decided I want to be a film director. I want to make The Red Badge of Courage into a movie of my vision. So it was then that I started studying film, and I wanted to get into film and become a film director. I began getting inspired by certain directors, such as Orson Welles, the great Steven Spielberg, and most recently, Christopher Nolan, the director of The Dark Knight and Inception. My brother was also inspired by my love and passion for film, and he now is also trying to get into the film industry. He's going to a four-year college where he'll be majoring in film. And we started working together on a lot of projects, and we became very passionate about film. Can you bring it up real quick? We started our own film company called Column Pictures, and the first three films here were films we all made in high school. The first one was Smash, which is a joke or spoof movie off of the Academy Award winning film Crash. A Doll's House was a film my brother did. He directed it, and I assisted him, and I also did the cinematography for that film. The film, After 20 Years, was a short story by O. Henry, which I wanted to adapt into a short film for a school project, and that was the first film I ever directed, produced, and I pretty much did everything. I did the cinematography, the editing. Then when I got into college, I was finally able to start getting more advanced in film, and I was finally able to take more classes where I could develop my film techniques. I took a Media 110 where I worked on, where we had to produce a product of film, and me and my partner decided we wanted to make a television show similar to that of The Office and Parks and Recreation and stuff like that. We called it The Restaurant. And it was basically pretty much the same premise. People who worked at a restaurant, a mock documentary style production. The most recent film we did was Seashells, which was a story I wrote. I created the story, my brother wrote the screenplay, and then we both co-directed it. That was the most professional film we've done so far. Some of the objects I have here, which helped me along the way to become a director, this was given to me by my brother for my birthday. He got it when he went up to Warner Brothers Studios. I love Warner Brothers Studios. I think they're one of the best production industries in the film industry right now. They're one of the best producers, and this is one of my favorite hats to wear. This was given to me by my parents. It's a Panasonic HDD. It's pretty much a typical home, store-bought home camera. It's good for making home videos, documentaries. I used these to make the first three films, including The Restaurant, because it worked as a type of a documentary camera, so it worked well for the production. This here is a JVC Pro, which is a professional type of camera that we use. This is not mine, however, it belongs to my brother's school, but the nice thing about having a brother who goes to a professional film school is you get to borrow their stuff. I really like using this. It's got high definition, it's got sound, you got islands, you got a microphone for it. It's got like 12 hours of battery power, so you get 12 hours of film. It's really great to work with. Now, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to show you real quick. one of the things I worked on. This was the restaurant production I did last year in my film class. Now, we only had 2 weeks to do it, which was write, find actors, and film and edit everything. We only had 2 weeks to do it, so it's not perfect, but it's one of the most recent and probably decent works I've done.
With the lights?
If someone could get that, that would be great. And do we have sound? So, please enjoy. Hello, my name is Matt Stone, and this is my restaurant, Big Matt's House of Lunch. Why did I go to the restaurant business? I guess you could say it started when I was 10 years old, and my father decided that instead of spending his paycheck money on drinking, he was going to take us out to the finest restaurant in town for dinner. Happened to be McDonald's. And while we were there, we were sitting in our booth, and the manager decided to come out to us. And he walked right up to our table, and he stood next to me and shook my hand. And as I stood there looking up at him with his bright red hair, his white face paint, and red overalls, I knew I was in the presence of greatness. Because you see, it was on that day that I met Ronald McDonald that I realized that McClown owned the biggest burger chain in the world. He wants to stop someone like me.
I'm the assistant manager, Drew Stuffin. My last name is German, so people tend to always pronounce my name wrong. And my goal at this restaurant is very simple. I will give Matt my absolute loyalty. I will follow his every command, and I will copy every thought, gesture, and mannerism of his, to the point where he can plainly trust me and make me his partner. It is then I will stab him in the back, assume his position as general manager, and finally take over this pathetic little restaurant of his. Then I will be the master.
Anything else you need? The chef here? And it's fantastic.
I'm working at this restaurant.
Okay, Dylan, we can.
Okay. I know. Let's see. So that's a taste of what I've done.